Hey guys, PokéDan here. Previously on my channel, I've made videos counting down my favourite Pokemon of each type. Except I did it one by one and it got pretty stale for me after a while. So I stopped doing it, and I feel like since I've stopped, it's just been incomplete and I can't be having that. So in this video, I'll be listing off my favourite Pokemon of each type. Remember guys that this is all in my opinion, so feel free to leave your thoughts down in the comments. But with all that being said, let's get started. So kicking off this video is the normal type, and in complete honesty it seems pretty fitting since my first Pokemon type video I made was actually about this typing. In my normal type video I said that my favourite normal type was Ursaring, and since that video was made, my opinion has changed a lot. My new favourite normal type is actually Chansey. Chansey is a Pokemon that I've always liked. It's always had appearances throughout the Pokemon anime, I mean Brock even had one and it's just adorable. But recently my love for this pink Pokemon has reached an all-time high because when I was hunting for a shiny Riolu a few weeks ago, on my 7th SOS encounter I found a shiny Chansey and I really treasure this shiny Pokemon. Anyway, Chansey is my favourite normal type, so let's move on to the next type. The next type I'll be talking about is the water type. Being the most common type, fair to say, I had a lot of choice about what Pokemon would be my favourite. Like with normal, I also made a video about my favourite water type Pokemon, and this time my number one choice stays the same. My favourite water type is none other than Chinchou. How could it not be? This adorable Johto Pokemon is the mascot of my YouTube channel. And let's face it, it's freaking adorable. This Pokemon means so much to me, so of course it had to be my favourite water type. The next typing on this list today is Fire, and my favourite Fire type is none other than Infernape. Every chance I get to, I talk about how great this Pokemon is. It was even number 1 on my top 5 favourite Fire type Pokemon list. I've mentioned it before, but if you don't know, Infernape was my first ever starter Pokemon. And I have lots of fond memories of travelling through the Sinnoh region with this Fire Monkey. Infernape has a badass design, and come on, you gotta admit it, it's the best fire and fighting starter. In my opinion, that is. Anyway, on to the next type. We've just had water and fire, so of course the next type is grass. This is another typing I've talked about on my channel, and I've previously mentioned that my favourite grass type was Sceptile. I say was because it isn't anymore. My current favourite grass type is actually Decidueye. I mentioned with Chansey that I've recently started shiny hunting in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and my shiny hunting partner is none other than this Pokemon. Decidueye was also my starter Pokemon in Sun and Moon too, and when the new games are released, I'm going to be choosing Rowlet again. This Pokemon is incredible, and it's for sure my favourite grass type. So the next type is Electric, and my favourite Pokemon of this type is Luxray. For the longest time I've loved this Pokemon. I can't remember a time when it wasn't one of my favourites. The main reason for my liking of this Pokemon would be nostalgia. I did say earlier that Infernape was my first starter Pokemon, so it's safe to assume that Sinnoh was the first region I played in. And I remember that on my Sinnoh team I had a Luxray. This Luxray was one of my favourite members of the team, and because I used it so much, it was over leveled as heck. This electric type just has such a badass design, it's impossible to hate it. Also, I just wanted to say that another electric type I like is Electivire, but as I could only mention one, it had to be Luxray. The next type is Psychic, and I know that this is such a common answer, but my favourite Psychic type is Mewtwo. When I was younger, the first ever Pokemon movie I watched was Mewtwo Strikes Back, and watching that, Mewtwo just made one hell of an impression on me. I know there has been another Mewtwo movie involving Genesect, and as great as a movie that was, I just prefer Mewtwo Strikes Back. Mewtwo is one of the most popular Pokemon, and I can personally see why. It was the original legendary, and it's just overall a memorable Pokemon. Mewtwo is by far my favourite Psychic type Pokemon. Next up is the Flying type, and I like a lot of Pokemon in this typing, like Crobats, Noivern, Talonflame, and many more. But my favourite flying type has to be Staraptor. Like Infernape and Luxray, Staraptor was on my first ever Pokemon team, so I really grew to like this Pokemon whilst playing through the games. It was pretty powerful and it was useful too, as it was my transport Pokemon. I just want to mention too that I also like Staraptor because of Ash's in the Pokemon anime. On Ash's Sinnoh team, it was such a cool Pokemon and I really liked it. I think it's fair to say that Staraptor will always be my favourite flying type. The next type I'm going to be talking about is the Ice type, and my favourite Pokemon of this type has to be Weavile. To be honest, I wasn't that big a fan of this Pokemon when I was younger. I didn't have that big an opinion on it, but in the Gen 6 games, I started to use a Weavile on my competitive team, and it's actually an amazing Pokemon. Well, it can barely take a hit, but it isn't really built for that. This Pokemon is really fast and it can hit hard. Because I've been battling with this Pokemon for a few years now, it's really grown on me, and it's by far my favourite Ice type. I also like ice types like Mamoswine and Frostlass too, but like I said, Weavile is my favourite. Okay, so we're about halfway through the list, and the next typing is Dark. I actually don't love a great number of Pokemon in this typing, but one I really do like is Darkrai. I feel like I like this Pokemon for a lot of the same reasons as I like Mewtwo. Like Mewtwo, I love the movie that Darkrai starred in, and I also like that Darkrai is such a badass. I mean, this Pokemon literally gives people nightmares. It's not the nicest thing to do, but admittedly, I think it's pretty awesome. Another reason why I like Darkrai is because I think it has one of the best Pokemon designs out there. It just looks phenomenal, and it's a dark type I just love. Next up is the Dragon type, a typing that has some of the strongest Pokemon in, and my favourite dragon is certainly strong. It's Salamence. Being one of the pseudo-legendaries of Hoenn, it's fair to say that this is a powerful Pokemon, and because of how strong it is, I actually use one on my competitive team, and that's the main reason why I like this Pokemon. For real though, Salamence can rip through teams like a chainsaw would through paper. It's really strong, especially its Mega. Now, to be honest, I don't love the design of Mega Salamence, but it does make this dragon type a lot stronger, so I'll take it. Salamence is an amazing Pokemon and a great dragon type. The next type we'll be talking about is the Fairy type. The Fairy type is the most recent typing to be created, and some of the best Pokemon actually have this typing. But my favourite Fairy type has to be Xerneas. I feel like Xerneas, along with maybe Sylveon, is the mascot of the Fairy type, and it's an amazing Pokemon. Playing through Pokemon X, Xerneas was of course my Kalos legendary, and it's the one I prefer out of the duo. Pokemon X was also the first ever game I pre-ordered, and it felt so special going to pick up the game, and being on the box art of Pokemon X, Xerneas was of course special to me as well. I love this Fairy type, and it of course had to be on this list. Coming in next is the Fighting type, and my favourite Fighting type Pokemon is Machamp. Machamp was the original Fighting type, and it is truly an iconic Pokemon. There are tons of reasons why I like Machamp, and one of them is its design. Machamp doesn't have an overcomplicated design, and I feel it really fits the Pokemon, and it works well. Another reason why I like Machamp is because one day I just randomly encountered a shiny Machoke in Pokemon Platinum, and it's now a shiny Machamp on my copy of Pokemon Sun. This Pokemon is very popular, and it is for sure my favourite fighting type. Bug. That's the next typing on the list, and my favourite bug type is none other than Sizzle. To be honest, I like Cypher as well, but I just like Sizzle a tiny bit more. One of the reasons why I like this Pokemon is because it has a really sleek and cool looking design. Seriously, it just looks so awesome. Another reason why I like this bug type is because of an episode of the Pokemon anime called Curbing the Crimson Tide. This episode was from the Hoenn anime, and it starred a Sizzle known as Red Lightning. This was a Sizzle that beat up trainer Pokemon so easily, and when I was younger watching this, I just found that to be so epic. In Pokemon X and Y, Sizzle gained a Mega evolution, and unlike Mega Salamence, I actually like this Mega. Sizzle is just an overall awesome Pokemon. Damn, we've done a lot of types, but the next type I'm going to be talking about on this list is Poison. And my favourite Poison type is Muck. Well, Alolan Muck. It's not like I hate this Pokemon's Cantonian form, but I just prefer it in its Alolan form. I remember when Alolan Muck was first revealed, everybody thought it was a joke, because, well, it just looked like a joke. And I happen to really like this Pokemon's design because it looks like such a meme, and I love memes. When I played through Pokemon Sun on my spare copy, I actually used an Alolan Muck on my team. And although I had to wait for a while to get one, it was so worth the wait because this Pokemon is amazing. Alolan Muck is for sure my favorite poison type. The next type we'll be talking about is the ground type, and my favorite Pokemon of this typing has to be Gliscor. There are many reasons why I absolutely love this Pokemon, but the main reason why is because of my use for it in competitive battling. You may be starting to see a bit of a trend here. I tend to like Pokemon that really mean something to me, and when I send out Gliscor to battle, that means I usually win. My Gliscor is an annoying Pokemon to face, it's super strong and it can be really stally, and I absolutely love using it. Gliscor also has a great design in my opinion, and of course, being a massive fan of the Sinnoh anime, I just loved Ash's Gliscor too. This ground type is one of my favourite Pokemon of all time, so it just had to represent the ground type. Up next is the rock typing, and my favourite Pokemon of this type is Lycanroc. No, not because of Lycanroc Dusk. I mean, let's face it, this form is awesome, but I liked this doggo way before that was revealed. I have two reasons why I like this Pokemon so much. Firstly, I actually used the Lycanroc on my team when I played through Pokemon Sun. I actually went out of my way to find a Rockruff because I wanted to use one on my team, and I've never regretted it because when my Rockruff evolved into Midday Lycanroc, it became super strong. Another reason why I like this rock type so much is because Rockruff was actually my first shiny Pokemon that I found in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and it is now a glorious blue Lycanroc. This Pokemon is so incredible to me, and I just had to have it on this list. The second but last type I'll be talking about is the Steel type, and to my surprise, I actually don't like a lot of Steel type Pokemon, but if I had to choose a favourite, it would be Aegislash. Now, I'm not really too sure why I like this Pokemon so much. I mean, I don't have any reasons to like it, but I guess it's just a Pokemon I find really cool. One thing I know I love about this Pokemon is its design. It's a freaking sword and shield. I'm sorry, but that's amazing. Aegislash just had to be my favourite Steel type on this list. Okay, nearly done, but the final type is of course Ghost. And my favourite Ghost type has to be Giratina. Ah, come on. Anyone who knows me will know that I absolutely love this Pokemon. I've said numerous times in this video that Pokemon Platinum was my first Pokemon game. So of course Giratina was the first legendary Pokemon I caught. Although I didn't use it for too long before I beat the Pokemon League, when I was using Giratina, it would usually one-shot any wild Pokemon or trainer Pokemon. And it was just a fun Pokemon to have on my team. I also really like the design of this legendary and the story behind it. It's a great Pokemon, and of course, it's my favorite Ghost type. So, that's it. That's all 18 types covered. Damn, that actually feels nice. Man, that took some time, but it was worth it because I enjoyed talking about it. If you enjoyed this video, guys, be sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing for more. And of course, be sure to let me know in the comments your favorite Pokemon of each type. But with all that being said, for now, I've been PokéDan, you've been amazing, and I'll see you guys next time.